I mean, we are saucy in every way.
Yeah.
Like, and I guess
Who's
like
saucier?
Who's saucier?
Yeah, who's saucier?
I think you definitely.
I'm more of a psychopath, but some of your stories are way more insane.
Yeah.
Has a better gaydar.
Mine's a sixth sense. I don't even. I can like tell if there's gay people like in a different room.
Really?
I don't.
You can feel it through the wall.
No. But I do cockblock her at all times, just because we're always
Just
together.
existing.
Yeah, and I know everyone says that like dating in Denver is bad, but it's bad.
Okay. It's that bad.
I've never seen
bad.
something like it.
Thank you guys for coming to the Table for One podcast. We have the Saucy Sibz on right now.
Yeah.
So we
Hello.
have here we have Francesca Nicodemus Piazza.
Piazza.
My bad.
Oh my God,
It's Italian?
Ferrucci.
Yeah.
I know.
Pia-
I messed it up. My bad.
Everywhere in Italian, it's plaza in Italian. So like
Piazza.
everywhere in Italy is like Piazza del.
I'll just head
whatever.
out. Yeah, I'll show myself the door. So how long have you guys been in Denver?
2 years.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I thought
Feels
he was
like a
gonna ask-
lifetime.
I thought he was going to ask, so how long have you guys been together?
Yeah.
I was like, since the womb.
I thought it was gonna be like, how long have you guys been Italian?
You guys came out of the same womb.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Not at the same time. We are
Okay.
not twins.
Not twins.
Who's older?
Yeah, guess.
I don't want to play this game.
I'm 5 years older. I'm 35.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm 29, still in my 20s, everyone.
There you go.
Just give me a little golf clap for that.
Okay.
But
Okay, and I met you guys at a bar.
imagine that. Yeah.
I'll
He's
clap for
giving you a
that.
clap.
Yeah, I
Still in the
appreciate
20s.
that.
And then you guys also work at the Zodiac House.
Yeah.
Okay. Spent many a night there.
Yeah.
Probably.
I think every weekend for the last year.
Yeah, it's kind of where we hang out even if we're not working.
Okay.
So
And you guys move spots, but you're not open till 5 anymore. 5 a.m.
5 a.m. Yeah. Well, we never were.
Oh, you guys, that was down.
it's
okay,
not
never mind.
legal. We would never do that.
Well, I had no
Never.
idea.
We
I
closed
thought it was-
lawfully at 2 a.m.
I thought it was just like a new city thing. I'm like, wow, Denver does it different. It's not. Yeah.
someone called it, this isn't my joke, but someone called it the Spirit Halloweens of nightclubs because it's always in a different spot.
It's like pop-ups.
Yeah, it's like a pop-up nightclub.
You guys get kicked out of the last spot or no?
No. Well, they are developing that building into like apartment complex.
Okay.
So like they had to move.
Okay. Yeah.
But once it's rebuilt, they might move back.
There you go. Yeah, it was a bummer for me because I lived very close, so I could just walk home, and it just didn't make a lot of sense for my liver.
Yeah.
No, it's fun. If people don't know, Zodiac House is kind of like a Burning Man bar, like house music, like tribal house, very vibey. And like the community is like so cool. One thing that we've always had at their clubs is like lots of couches, lots of chill areas. So I feel like it doesn't have the vibe of any other club.
Okay.
It's like, I'm not going to Temple.
Yeah. And how long have you guys been here? Where are you originally from as well? Oh, yeah, 2 years. Okay. But where are you originally from?
St. Louis, Missouri, yeah.
Okay.
But we've been in Colorado for about 5 years. At the start of 2020, we moved out to Breckenridge just to like snowboard have like a little ski bum moment. And then COVID hit 3 months after we moved. And so we got stuck, but it was actually amazing. We were like, everyone's like, shut up in their houses and in the cities and their apartments. And we were just kind of hiking and snowboarding and drinking.
We had the best COVID.
Yeah.
Like we just partied in the mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
But yeah, basically we both moved back to our parents' house because Nick got malaria in India. I got Lyme disease in New York. So I had like a big girl job in New York City and I had to quit. And then Nick like almost died in India. So then he moved home. And then, cause he was like 11 when I went to college.
You almost died?
Yeah, I lost 20 pounds. Half my hair fell out. I had a high fever of 104 for 21 days. And we have a brother in between us, Maximiliano, and he's a physician. And he was like, at 21 days, we're looking at a 10% chance of living. This is when we make arrangements. And I'm just like, fuck. Not yet. Like, yeah.
So we both got like a new lease on life. And
Yeah.
he was like, I'm just going to go snowboard in Breckenridge and like work at a bar.
Okay.
He's like, screw it. And I was like, can I come with you? I was like, you're like kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then we just like moved in. Actually, our first room in Breckenridge, we shared a room and had twin beds. Like it really was like stepbrothers.
We moved out there with $500 and then no place to live in the middle of January.
where were you working? Like during COVID?
We didn't have a job
probably,
yet.
so-
Like in January, the day we drove out there, we didn't know a single soul or have a job or have any money really.
And then you got a job though, right? Okay, that's hard during COVID though.
No,
Well, it was-
COVID didn't start till March.
Oh, okay.
So we got out there in January and COVID happened in March. And actually we printed out a whole bunch of resumes and we were going to go around and find all these bars and like, hi, we're Francesca and Nicodemus. Hire us. But no, the first place I walked in, the guy, Eric Mamula, who was the mayor of Breckenridge at the time, he owns a restaurant and sports bar up there. And he was just like, when do you want to start? And I was like, what? He was like, yeah, do you want to come in Wednesday? And I was like, that was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I worked there for like 3 years.
Okay. Awesome. Okay, and then for people that don't know, these guys are the hosts of the Saucy Sibz.
Yeah.
And so I did want to ask a little bit about that. Because you guys have a pretty fun podcast.
Yeah.
Thank
Anybody
you.
that doesn't know.
It's a comedy podcast, but it originally started as a wine podcast. Francesca and I are really into wine. And we were living in Aspen at the time, and we left Breckenridge, went up to Aspen, and we've always really liked wine, and we were working at really fancy wine bars, and we thought, okay, the idea of it, looking back on it, is so half-baked. We were like, let's do a podcast where we drink wine. That was it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And like tell stories about wine. And then really like we bought all the equipment and then
When did it
we
get
lost
raunchy?
the first episode, really. Yeah. Well, because we lost our housing in Aspen because it was a crazy story. But we lost our housing and then we decided to take off on the road for 3 months, living out of her Chevy Equinox with her dog and podcasting and drinking wine from the front seat of the car. Yeah.
yeah,
You
so
were
like,
drinking too?
Not while driving, but like
Wow.
we literally recorded from the front seat.
and everything we owned was in the car. So like it was like filled up in the back. So for us to like sleep, which we slept in like Walmart parking lots or like in BLM land, and we would like have to crawl on top of our stuff and like kind of an Equinox is not that big. And then my dog would be between us and Nick would be like, your dog's touching me.
Yeah.
And Nick doesn't like dogs.
Don't like them.
And I don't know, but we did that for months.
And it was awesome.
You guys get sick of each other?
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your last fight you
Him
had?
more than me.
What was the last fight?
Last fight? No.
We've had one fight, but we don't speak of it. It's
Yeah.
like Voldemort.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
we
it's
fought
just
once
the
in
one-
our lives, and we don't.
One time. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ask us. I will say it was my fault, though.
Well, thank you for saying that, you know?
I mean,
It took 5 years, but...
It just now.
No.
Okay.
But
yeah, I lost my mind a little bit during
we
COVID.
all did. It was COVID. We were living with a nymphomaniac drug dealer and like just
I
decided...
spent like a month doing drugs in
nymphomaniac
Mexico.
drug dealer?
Nymphomaniac drug dealer landlord. It was wild.
Did you do one or the other? The
What?
Drugs or the nymphomaniac?
I ended up dating him.
Oh, okay.
Which, I mean, who thought that was going to be a bad idea?
Yeah.
Who could have seen that coming?
Yeah, the writing wasn't on the wall.
Yeah, no,
Well,
literally.
no, it's
but-
not like he counted the amount of girls he could hook up with every day.
He like just put it in the wall?
No, there was a running count.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he would call them the numbers to their face. And then I thought, oh, it's like my best friend. I could change him.
I can change him. It really was like that. I'm different. And me seeing this was just like, wow.
Did you
Okay.
warn her?
What?
Did you warn her?
Actually, I would blame it on Nick.
Okay.
Why?
He was talking to you one day and said, I could hook up with any girl in the world.
You cannot.
I kind of blame it on you. And Nick goes, you could never hook up with Francesca. And he was like, 48 hours later.
It literally
It
was
only took
48
48 hours.
I know. It really was crazy.
That's messed up.
I know.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
mean-
never. He's like my brother.
Yeah.
Like I've seen too much. Nope. I thought it was different.
Anytime someone says he's like my brother, I just sort of assume they're going to sleep with each other.
Yeah, you can't be first, but you can be next. That's
Man.
Starting this off great. Hey, Men of Denver.
She's single.
yeah, both single here.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, what's with the soup? You know, I'm seeing the soup. You guys are drinking soup on the Reels, on the Instagram, on the TikTok. It's a lot of soup. Can't
We're-
live. Just living on soup.
I am full of soup. We have not stopped
How much
eating
soup
soup.
do you have in your belly right now?
Right today, it's funny. I thought I had leftovers this morning. I was
I
like, no,
had some
drank-
today. I had a leftover.
I drank it all. Huh. No, we went to Whole Foods and got soup. And Francesca was like, oh, let's post this to TikTok. And for some reason, it hit a chord with people. And
It's almost a 500,000 views. And here's the thing.
Holy
So like
shit.
everyone who's ever gotten like big on like Instagram or like their podcasts. Well, hold on, let me start. So we have a
Can you cut this? Sorry, I'm not good at this.
No, but basically we have a manager in New York City, and she's like, listen, your podcast is good. I think you have a good product. You need to go viral on TikTok more. So our like 2025 thing was just to like do more TikToks. And a lot of people, when they first go viral, it's like stupid shit, but if the algorithm likes it, just keep doing it. And I don't know, it struck a chord with people. Like 10,000 or 15,000 people have sent it to their friends and like reposted us. And they're just like, God, this is my dream. If only I had someone to do this with me, whatever. And I'm like, are people that lonely that like drinking soup in the car? It's like,
for sure. I'm not trying to like make fun of them or anything, and I'm not, but it's crazy how like, and everyone, of course, thought we were together. So everyone's like, I just wish this type of love finds me in 2025.
May this love find me. It's every comment.
People are like, I just wish my husband would do this with me. And I'm like, soup in a fucking parking lot? Like, is that all it takes?
It's a new low. It's the bare minimum, really.
It's the bare minimum.
I'm not making fun of them at all. I'm more just like, what is the state of like loneliness in like our generation right now? Where like this is like their dream, that they just have a friend or a significant other, or in my case, a brother to like go get soup with. Anyway, so we're doubling down on soup.
Do you guys have like a hashtag like Saucy Soup or
Soupy Sibz?
Soupy Sibz. We know. I mean, we are saucy in every way. Yeah. Like, and I guess
who's
like
saucier?
Who's saucier?
Yeah, who's saucier?
I think you definitely.
I'm more of a psychopath, but some of your stories are way more insane.
Yeah. I have like there's something wrong with like the way I make decisions in life that even it scares me, where I'm like, I don't really know why I decided to get in the car with him, but no, I don't know. And so like the soup, like I'm like, and we used to say like, don't have any friends, like we'll be your friends, like come listen to our podcast. And so right now it's like, are you feeling lonely? Like come watch us eat soup in our car.
We're starting a soup cult. Honestly, yeah. I'm gonna get a party bus next week. We're all gonna go get soup and hang out in the party bus.
It's like a run club, but a soup club.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For the winter.
Sorry.
No, and then proceeds, I'll go to a soup kitchen.
Yeah, there you go. Start your own soup kitchen. Yeah. It's just random people that watch your shit.
Feed soup to the homeless.
Yeah. I feel like that would be really fun for like a month, and then I'd be like, God damn it, I have to go pretend. I want to go feed people soup at the soup kitchen. I mean,
where did the name come from, Saucy Sibz?
People started calling us that.
Well, when we lived in St. Louis, once we got our health back, there's like this string of gay bars called The Grove. Actually, one of the best like gay districts, surprisingly, in St. Louis. There's like 20 gay bars. And like, we were just living at our parents' house and going out, and we had this like particularly sauced summer where we just like got wasted at the gay bars together every day. And it was there was this woman that called us the Saucy Sibz one day
because it was like a Wednesday and we're like,
you're hammered,
we're back.
Yeah, but it's always sometimes I feel like Nick and I are just like holding court. Like people ask like why we have a podcast and don't know us, then you start hanging out with us and we're just like doing quips and like jokes, and it's like,
yeah, it's kind of annoying.
She like asked for a photo with us, which is insane. Yeah. I'm like, why? Like we're nobody. She's like, you guys are just some Saucy Sibz, and I want a photo, and we went with it.
Yeah, that was it, wasn't it?
Yeah. The rest is history.
And so now we literally like call ourselves the Saucy Sibz, and I think it's sort of like cringe, weird, but it's like so funny to me, and it is real. Like we're saucy in every way.
Yeah, that's when I met you, Georgie. My boss at the time, he was like, "These are the podcast twins, or not twins, but like siblings, podcast siblings." So, yeah,
I know.
Now we're here.
Not twins, and we're not together.
So, what was the motivation to start the podcast?
Wine.
Oh,
yeah, but also like if we both like, if we both like really sat down though after like our near-death experiences, we were kind of like, what do we like to do in life? Like, what do we care about? Nick has a theater background. I have an acting background, not in theater, but like just on camera stuff. And we love to like tell stories, and we love to make people laugh and just like entertain. Yeah. And we're like, I don't know, people like legitimately call us like the Saucy Sibz. Should we just like start a podcast?
The energy is at 10 right now. I feel it. It's exceeding.
Yeah, this makes my job very easy because I'm supposed to chime in like if things get awkward or quiet, and I feel like I'm not gonna have to say anything this episode. This is perfect.
You can.
Yeah, please.
I'm
like
having fun just listening.
It's like, hang out. My problem is talking too much. Like
I know.
I feel like we try, like, you know, you meet those people and you're like, holy fuck, like let someone else speak. Yeah. Like I will, like, I'm interested in other people. Like, I like to hear their stories. But if I'm in a group of people and no one's fucking talking and no one has something interesting to say, shit, I'll start entertaining. Yeah.
Start her up. And then it's over. So you guys have guests from time to time, right? How many did you do without a guest first until you started getting guests on?
I think it was 8 episodes. Okay. And then we had our brother on, which was our first guest. And then we had a few others, but really, like, there's really no rhyme or reason when we have guests. It's just people that we like that I think are funny and we're like, hey, you should come on. Sometimes they have social media backgrounds, sometimes they don't. Then last year we had a ton of guests on.
I don't think we're going to do that anymore. We started having like 3 to 4 guests a week. And honestly, all of those episodes aren't out yet. All of these banked episodes are like from July. And we were just like...
Do you put out 1 a week?
Yeah.
We try.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you did more than that with the 3.
We were doing 2 a week for a while because we had so many guests. But then we were like, this year, we're like, let's just do like us. And if someone's like really, it's really like if we have a chemistry or like they really have like a story to tell that we already know about, we're like, okay, like you need to come on and tell the people.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going for just us and soup this year.
It's kind of like, you know, like when you have guests on, you sort of have to like tailor it to them in a bit. And, you know, we've had like great episodes with guests, but other times it's like, sometimes I just want to talk about myself.
Do you ever say something so bad, you gotta cut it out?
Dude, yes.
No, my biggest fear is a live podcast.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I cancel myself 9 times a day.
Yeah.
Not like I'm not racist or anything, but I'll just say shit that's not true.
Okay.
And like horrible. I'll be like, Nick and I were living out of the car. We didn't know where our next meal was coming from. And Nick will re-listen to it and he's like, Francesca, shut the fuck up.
No, we're drinking a $300 bottle of champagne. Like
that's where our money was going. Yeah. We were fine.
We just didn't know how to budget properly.
I exaggerate, like I wouldn't say I'm a liar, but like I exaggerate too much. And like luckily everyone that knows me just knows to
makes
like
it more fun.
Never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Exactly.
1000%.
But
yeah.
Sometimes there's lies.
And then sometimes we just like say people's names and secrets that we're like, okay, I don't know why we thought that would be okay to put out online. Like, and no, cut that. And
you talk shit sometimes and you're like, fuck, that was too much shit to talk.
Yeah, we've cut
like legally.
We've cut like episodes. We had one, but and then we had a woman attack us at a restaurant because we didn't even say her name, but this just like crazy bitch that it's kind of a long story, but like she knew that we were talking about her. And
we just said one of the reasons I left Breckenridge was a girl was bullying me. And I said, hey guys, 6 months later, this is why we like left Breckenridge. A girl was bullying me. Then she like attacked us in public. And like, it was like,
I saw that clip. I think I saw that.
Well,
yeah,
no, like that clip is like our most
viewed
clip, has 5 million views. Yeah. And we would have like doubled down on that more because it's like, oh, let's like start talking more shit and really get her riled up. But I was so scared for my life that we had to let it die.
Yeah. And we thought she was going to like come to our house. I mean, because she already found us online. And she, even in the police report that the cops found her, the restaurant called the police on her. And she told the cops, this is in the police report, fuck me up, take me to jail, give me an assault charge. Or
like I will get her.
Yeah.
I will fuck her up. She like really hates me.
To the police. And it's like, I can think of like, what's the worst thing you could ever say to a cop? Give me an assault charge, take me to jail, I will fuck her up.
She got hit with like a bunch of, we never pressed charges, but the city of Breckenridge did, which was awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she got stalking.
Disturbing the peace and harassment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Love it.
And we were like, and then people in the comments were like, guess you shouldn't have been talking shit. I'm like, the thing is like, I'm allowed to talk about like what happened in my life. And that's why you didn't work at that job anymore, because of her. And but like, there's no way you would have known who we were talking about until she came into the restaurant and attacked us, you know?
So it's her fault.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Legally, you can say whatever you want. Yeah. We've consulted a lot of lawyers on this now. So like defamation is only if what you said is not true.
Okay.
And we don't even say anyone's names, and they're not famous people, so they're not like publicly identifiable. So like you can really talk as much shit as you want under like a pseudonym that people can't figure it out, but you have to know that like they can come get you.
Should we start talking shit?
Probably, yeah.
The internet loves drama.
The internet
It's
does
good
love
for
drama.
views.
But that's like, again, like, I mean, it might sound like we have a shit talking podcast, but we really, really don't.
We had to back up.
We are really just making fun of each other the whole time. But like, there have been a few stories that we've said, and even that, it just kind of feels icky. Like, you know, like dropping tea or like what actually happened. And I can't even believe like some of the big podcasts on like YouTube where people are like, oh, this is what happened, and every detail with some other person. It's like, that sounds like a crazy world to live in, and having everyone on the internet weighing in on their opinions, and I don't know.
Have you ever regretted having somebody on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like the worst guest you've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had guests. Well, we also like do this thing because Nick and I are experienced drinkers. We don't realize that.
It's a good term.
Yeah, we've been drinking since we were like 10. Like our family like drinks wine at dinner. No, like our family. I mean, we're like Italian Catholics, and other people don't drink that much. So like sometimes on our podcast we have like 3 drinks. Sometimes like if they drank before because they're nervous, they'll black out on the podcast. And we've had people like throw up. We've had people punch holes in the wall.
Yeah. But yeah.
That's awesome. That sounds awesome.
You know, and sometimes it's like, why did we do that? You know?
We've also found out after we had people on that like their whole like facade and like who they say they are and what they do is like fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like all their followers are bought.
Oh, I forgot.
They're like not a good person, and like they're basically a scam of a human. And it's like, fuck, we like put them out on our podcast,
which is kind of like a weird territory of like you never really know like who you're having on. It's like, what if we just like,
what if we're scammers?
What if we're just crazy racists?
I knew it.
Did you do
Minute
your
35,
research?
they start dropping some slurs. Yeah, that's okay.
No. But like, yeah, it is kind of, I don't know, but.
Are you looking at me? Why are you looking at me?
What am I supposed to look at?
Are you listening to this conversation,
Why are you
dude?
giving me a pan? Okay.
But
Okay. I'm sure everybody asks everybody this that has a podcast, but like have one guest on. What's your one guest that you'd like that?
Miley Cyrus.
Miley Cyrus.
I think both of us, yeah.
Saw her at ACL. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
yeah. Okay. How was she?
I was drunk. Okay. But I'm pretty sure it was good.
You're just living my dream.
Yeah.
She was performing at the same time as someone else. Wasn't it like Lane 8 or someone? I can't remember.
I'm trying to think. I was a bit inebriated and I had to go grab food like 3 times. Just because, I mean, it was good. The music was good, but yeah. It was, anyway.
We've gone to ACL before.
We love ACL. Well, I had a friend who was at that concert, and I had to convince her to go.
It was like 2021, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
And I was like, please go see her. Like, Miley Cyrus doesn't really perform that much, and that's like, she's one of my favorite artists. I feel like she's my best friend. You know?
Like talk about parasocial relationships.
I know, 100%.
She's probably a Saucy Sibz.
Oh, the most.
She's Sagittarius. She's like the Sagittarius. I'm Sagittarius. He's an Aquarius.
Yeah.
And
We're Virgos.
Hi.
Don't know what that means.
2 of our best
okay.
friends who are also roommates are Virgos.
Who? Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who, if you could be on anybody else's podcast?
Wow.
Tana's?
Table for one.
Yeah, obviously we're already here.
This is your dream.
I've actually never thought about that question.
Neither have I.
I would love to be on Tana Mojo's podcast. I just want to be friends with her. I've been watching her forever. I'm really into YouTube. And so I think, Tana Mojo. Are you familiar?
No.
No, that's okay.
She's like an original
She's-
YouTuber.
You'd probably
She's
recognize
great.
her.
Probably.
Highly problematic, you know.
Her podcast is called Canceled.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think she's
vibes.
hilarious, but she is one to like really go into the drama and really get in there and kind of get views from that, which I think would be crazy, but she does it. She goes for it.
The biggest moment or a milestone, something you're really proud of from the podcast. So what would it be?
I think the fact that we're still going.
Yeah, I do enjoy that, and like having more and more people say that they listen. People who I don't know, I really enjoy just because it's a complete stranger, or people that I do know that I would never think would care enough to listen. I'm like, oh, you really listen to that? Like, oh my God, thank you. Like,
Yeah, I would say like 2 things. When we first started getting like recognized,
I do
which
love
was really
that.
cool. And then because I'm like, okay, like people fucking listen who aren't our friends. And then also though, when people are our friends and I don't expect them to listen because they get the podcast in real life all the time, but they're like, oh my gosh, like you're late on an episode. This is my favorite thing to listen to every week. And like when people tell us that they like pee their pants laughing to it, I'm like, cool. Like we have something.
Or when people are like, who are you talking about in that episode?
But then I'll also say like, I think finding like a passion in life, I feel like during most of my 20s, like I just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't know what I cared about. And I feel like we've really found something that I'm like, I want to do this.
Yeah. It's your own. It's something that you can, grow. You can keep going. And
it's like, I know who I am. I like it. And like, you know, like even our parents now are like really supportive since they've seen like having a manager and like seeing that it can make money. Like, I don't know, it was maybe like 6 months ago, I was about to turn 35 and I was like, this is stupid. Like, should I stop doing this? Whatever. And like, our dad was like, the only way that you fail right now is if you quit.
Right.
And I was like, damn, like he's like talking me into keep going on my podcast. Yeah. I was like, that's kind of huge.
Yeah. I think there was one or two of them. I was like, well, what'd you think, Mom? Because she watched it and I didn't really want her to. And she's like, you said the F word a lot in it. And I was like, yeah. She was like, but it was good. You know, like a high pitch, like too high of a pitch, you know?
Yeah.
It was really good. I thought it was good. And I was like, why do you keep saying it?
What do you mean, Mom?
Yeah, Mom. Isaac had to block his mom because she was like, what are you putting out?
Yeah, I did. Just on Instagram. So
there you go.
Yeah. She saw a clip.
It's
Somebody was talking about a soft wiener and she's like, you're putting this out?
I think for any parent, it would be a bit weird to have your kid go into podcasting. I mean, it just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
You know?
I think Mom's worried that I'm never going to get married, the things I'm putting out.
Yeah, like, I guess because we tell saucy stories, people are going to think that, like, my mom's afraid that, like, you come off unladylike, but it's also, like, I think it's hilarious, you know what I mean? And it just...
Has it hindered you guys, like, finding partners or dates, or has it only brought more people that are reaching out to you?
I mean, I'm sure it's hindered, but no one's told me to my face.
Okay. Yeah, no one's said to my face. You know what actually scares me about a little bit about the podcast is we don't get a lot of hate. Okay. And the thing is why it scares me is because I know it's like they're talking shit behind the back. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't mind that. Like, talk shit all you want because, like, if you don't like it, that's 100% okay with me. Like, we all have opinions, you know, but just
or
like
if you want to talk shit on the podcast, like, honestly, it does good in the algorithm. Like, please talk shit to our face.
Just like, no one close to me has ever been like, you know, and that's how I know. I'm like, what are they talking about?
You guys are like this in real life, so it's not
we really
like
are.
That. People don't see you, and then you're like, you know, stonewall like face, all that. You can't. I mean, you guys are exactly who you are on the pod.
So. Well, 1,000%. And like, you know, I do feel like us starting a podcast talking about crazy things that happened to us, it was just par for the course. Like it was inevitable.
Yeah. Wait, do you have a piece of content you put out that garnered a lot of hate? I know you said you don't get a lot of hate. Was there one thing that you were like, oh shit?
No, we get ripped apart like from time to time on TikTok for sure. Yeah. I'm like, man, have you ever had like a horde of 14-year-old like gays like come after you? We just had one TikTok we put up. We were like making fun of like, like we were saying in the clip, like, we need to ask the older gays if like they've always like poured heavy at bars, and there's like thousands of comments being like, aren't these the older gays? No. Like they were like, I mean, it was just like, ooh, that's a rough 28. Like, I mean, I've never gotten like my looks picked apart so much, but like, I'm like oddly comfortable with it.
I'm I kind of don't mind it. But that one was rough. Like, I didn't realize how many like 20-year-olds are just like, I thought you were 35. Like, like I thought you had a wife and kids. I'm like, what? Man.
2025, right? 2030, if you could put where you want the pod to be in 5 years, give us the plan. Maybe living in LA. I know that was something we talked about a little bit. You guys want to grow out. I mean, sometimes that's hard to be a little vulnerable, but 25 years.
I think for us, like, we would love just to be able to do this full time and be mobile with it. Like, we both travel a lot and, you know, like, we're here in London doing our podcast, talking about what happened to us in London. I think that would be really fun. And, having just kind of be a podcast that people definitely know and recognize and like love to listen to. Nice. I think that's my 5-year goal, but definitely mobile traveling.
Yeah. And I would say in 5 years, we better be in the top 5 comedy podcasts in the world.
Yeah.
That's like...
I'd like to hear it.
2-year goals.
Yeah.
And just be able to like interview. I feel like we're both like really curious about people and like life and like be able to like do good in the world and like interview really amazing people that don't have the platform to. Because, you know, so many people like what we also produce other podcasts for people, and people are like, oh, like, does the world need more podcasts? I'm like, I think the world needs more like amazing, cool, wonderful people with mics in their hands, as opposed to just like the bros who think like women should be in the kitchen or whatever.
Hey, we're not the bros.
No, you guys aren't. We wouldn't be here.
But yeah, for sure. I mean, there's 1,000 book or 1 billion books, you know, there's 1 billion TV shows, and I like the format of podcasting, and I wish more people would. Or there's just been some really, really interesting people that I've met through life, obviously, that I'm just like, damn, I would love to get you to sit down for 30 minutes and talk about your life to me, even though they like probably don't have any social media, you know.
And I think when you were asking about guests, like who we decide to have on, I think one of the guiding things in our podcast is, I feel like when you grow up and you don't know what you want to be, like, you know, you're kind of, at least like back then, you were only given this like set of like, you know, firefighter or astronaut or marine biologist. But we meet, especially through Burning Man, so many interesting people that do the most random things for work, and they're so happy.
Yeah.
And just having people on that do that have like designed this insane life. And so I feel like most everybody we've had on, they've designed a really cool life that we're interested, like that we would want to have.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. By the way, it's dry January, so that's why the LaCroix.
Oh my God.
So.
I know we're not getting sauce today.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
no just Sibz here.
It would be a lot more interesting.
I know you asked if we were gonna like, oh, do you want anything to drink? And I was like, this is crazy. I'm actually saying like, no.
Yeah.
It's a first, everyone.
Yeah, well, we'll drink enough for you guys.
Good. Yeah, what are you guys drinking?
White Claw.
Usually I drink a little tequila soda, but I'm drinking White Claw right now. I'm trying to do just drinking while doing the podcast, but we got a couple podcasts lined up this week, so I'm
Exactly.
Do you guys? That's a lot.
Yeah. Hey, do you mind if we do a segment brought to you by our sponsor?
Please.
Absolutely.
We're just gonna roll the sponsor right now.
Yeah. He uses a joke every episode. There's still no sponsor.
Anyway,
Okay.
all right.
I was like, who the fuck is about to jump out of the closet? Like, oh God.
I was like, wait, you guys are already
You
sponsored?
don't
That's
have
amazing.
to tell people we don't have a sponsor, you know, especially new guests that haven't seen that bit, you know.
Yeah.
We just let it roll and then they think that we have a sponsor.
It's the girl that attacked us at the restaurant just comes out.
You're like,
oh
we have
my-
a guest for you. It's like what Ellen DeGeneres does. I jumped through that window.
I would call 911.
Yeah.
I wish.
It's
I
like
should've-
Jerry Springer. You're like, we thought you guys could sit down and work it out.
That's not happening. Not on this pod. Not on this pod. This segment is called Which One? So I'm just going to name something. And
Okay.
if it pertains to one of you more than the other, which one?
Okay.
So,
I like this.
has a better gaydar.
Mine's a sixth sense. I don't even, I can like tell if there's gay people like in a different room. Like, I don't.
You can feel it through the wall.
Yeah. And sometimes I doubt it. I'm like, oh.
There's gays over there.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I was fucking right.
Nick is really good because I'll be like into a guy and I'm like, Nick, did you see that guy? He's like, yeah, I saw him. He's like, sorry, gay. And I'm like,
Gay.
Are you cock blocking her? You're just saying everybody's gay?
No. But I do cock block her at all times, just because we're always
just
together.
existing.
Yeah, and
Because they think you guys are.
they think we're together.
Yeah, he's a little too masculine looking. We need hot pink nails.
Hot pink nails. I am wearing a Brittany, Lindsay, and Paris shirt. Just gonna. We were thinking about like having a shirt that just says "gay," but even that, I feel like some straight guys
Fag.
would wear that. Fag. Yeah. Fag.
Who says the gay word more? The gay word. Who says gay more? Between you two.
Say me. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm always talking about it. Yeah.
Although he also says fag all the time.
Fag's
like not
back.
my word.
Yeah.
I really shouldn't. Like I don't really use that like in conversation, but we're always together. And I like went to call a couple guys motherfuckers the other day. Like whatever. It was the day before my period and I was like out for blood. And these guys like yelled at my dad and I was like, listen, motherfucker. you and I said, listen, fags. So
Just
accidental
straight.
hate crime.
Yeah, well, you have a gay brother, so
Not okay. Oh no, Nick like throws his pashmina over his shoulder and he's like, she needs help.
I was like, I got to get there for that. And they were straight guys. They were like straight
Yeah,
bros
yeah, I
that
wasn't
like didn't brush their
throwing the
teeth.
slur.
But and then I came out wearing the pashmina, and I was like, he was like, "What'd you say?" I said, "She said faggot." Okay, and then they were all like, "Oh," and then he was like, "Oh, you're looking a little gay with that pashmina. Are you sure you aren't a faggot?" I was like, "I literally am faggot." Like I'm like we had
it takes one to know.
Yeah. So luckily, like he was
suck
with
his dick. No, yeah, we like almost had a brawl in the parking lot.
yeah.
But whatever.
Brings home the worst significant other.
What?
The worst significant others, I should say.
Well, the nymphomaniac drug dealer that she attempted to.
That was bad. I feel like you date really nice men.
I do.
Yeah,
I would say like every guy.
I am the worst. Like we're working on that. I have a dating coach.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Can we have him on?
Yeah, no, she's wonderful. Her name's Marina. She's changed my life, actually.
We do have a guy dating coach. We need a girl dating coach.
We've been trying to get her on, like, no,
She
just
would do
like
it.
I would love for her to
because
do so much.
she basically like her advice like through me to my other friends. They're like, "Who is this woman?" Like she
She doesn't miss. Like everything she says is like really profound.
So you guys do live together. Which one brings home more guys?
Probably. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. There we go.
And that's
by
that's
far and wide.
by far and wide.
From like
by
3 people.
landslide.
Yeah.
Are you ever like keep it down or what? I mean,
No,
We got so lucky because I would never live with my brother if I could ever hear you in any capacity. It's like we have like our own wings of the apartment. So like our own bedroom and bathrooms like far separated. And I could be blasting music in my room and you couldn't hear.
Also, if I could know that you could hear, I wouldn't be able to. I can't
Absolutely
I
not.
can't
That's
handle that.
fucked.
I also can't do like public sex or anything like that or anything. It just like trips me out way too much. One time I was in a car and that it was even like I'm like fuck no, I can't do this.
You fucked in public at Burning Man.
I did actually, and I couldn't do it. And he said to me, he was like, "You got to be confident." And someone walked up to us, and I was like, "Oh, sorry." And
just
I was
in
like,
the
just like
field,
in the
or-
mud, like way like far away. And I thought, but whatever. Like on the, yeah,
was one of
it's
those.
kind of haunting to me, to be honest.
has better style.
Oh, Francesca for sure. Francesca, yeah, and you know a lot about a lot when it comes
Thank
to. Brands and the words for things. You know, like in fashion, everything has a word.
Like a peplum top. Do you know what that is?
Literally no.
It's like a top that goes out at the bottom. Do you guys know what a peplum is?
No,
I do not.
Yeah, see, boys don't. Do you know what seersucker is? Come on, like pinstripes, but pastel.
Okay.
What's another one? There's like a trend on TikTok of like girls asking boys these questions and they just have no idea. Do you know what houndstooth is?
Yes, I do know.
okay.
What. I do have a shirt with him.
Okay.
I have no idea.
It's a pattern.
You recognize it.
Paisley, you should know Paisley.
Paisley, we know Paisley.
No.
Come on.
See, I grew up with 3 brothers. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know any of this.
Our mom's quite a fashionista too, so I've learned a lot by osmosis.
Did you guys
Like,
ever hear your parents having sex?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
for sure. Our parents are like very in love and like they be fucking.
Yeah,
Like good for them. That's what like
They
I want
scar
in life.
you?
They're in their 50s. They're
really.
going after it.
they're just and they're young and they're party. Yeah, they're a party couple.
Okay.
They're
party
way
better.
saucier than us,
I know.
actually.
People think that like we're always like out and partying and stuff like that, and it's like yeah, we are, but we were raised that way. And our parents actually, when we were at Burning Man, I got at my favorite bar, Occidental in Denver. I got a photo from the bar manager, and it was my mom like doing the splits on the bar, and he was like, "She's the only person that I've ever had to like tell get off the bar because people don't jump on the bar at that
Do
bar."
the splits at 55.
Yeah, and then she was just like, I don't know.
She's like this gorgeous little blonde. They're fun.
I was like, well, I know what my mom's doing.
That's a cool mom.
Yeah.
Who is more toxic in a relationship?
Oh, by far. You're like blocking people, unblocking, calling.
I'm working on it.
You have a dating coach. Okay.
Yeah. No, I feel like in the last like 5 years, like all of my relationships have been like pretty toxic.
Why is that?
Let's
a
get
therapy
into it.
session.
Let's jump in. Like,
Lack of self-worth.
But we're
but
working on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Deeply, actually. I'm doing some deep work.
Any people on the horizon that you could maybe some
No.
see yourself with? No.
Just some crushes. Some crushes from Burning Man.
yeah, we Yeah, there's one.
Yeah. Like a bunch of people I met that live in LA. Honestly, it's one of the reasons I'm going to LA.
For the
I
crushes.
met no, not for them.
Okay.
We've been wanting to go there, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like I haven't had luck with any of the men in Denver, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to LA and try there.
You know, I know everyone says that like dating in Denver is bad, but it's bad.
Okay.
It's
that bad.
I've
It's
never
that
seen
bad.
something
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
Not for the gays. He's talking for the
gays are
straights.
great.
Yeah,
Gays are
how
doing
is
great.
it dating as a gay guy?
I feel like gays are always having more fun, but and like obviously it's like the same stuff. Like a lot of gay men are open, and that really turns a lot of gay men off. But and a lot of gay men are super super slutty. But at the same time, there's just people in Denver. The gays are always doing things. They're really into music. They're always going out hiking. They're always doing things. So I feel like it's really great.
Yeah, I worked at Georgie's. It's queer friendly, but
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been hit on more by guys and women there.
Really?
Yeah.
It's okay. More likely to have a drunk cig.
Well,
Both of us.
Well, I mean,
We
that's-
love a cheeky sig.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
It's good for you. I'm
It is good.
convinced.
Yeah.
No, bring back
Sig
smoking.
away keeps the doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sig a day, yeah.
Sig a day keeps the doctor away. I'm gonna
Actually, there was a study that just came out that people who like had a regular intake of nicotine, so like whether it's the Zins or nicotine, that they actually
Yeah.
got less sick from COVID.
I
That
never
just
got
came out
COVID.
like a week ago. You can look it up.
And I was smoking away.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
We were ripping
Puffing
sick.
away.
Ripping,
COVID.
yeah.
That's, gets hit on more.
Nick.
I'd say me.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure. By girls and guys.
By girls and guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you let the girls down easy?
I don't always like immediately notice it at first because I think we're just girling out. And then I realize they're like, oh, like then I just try to say something. I love the limp wrist,
Yeah.
you know? It's like,
We have
I
a
think
couple of friends that are gals that love a feminine man, so that's probably why.
yeah, I think because I don't know what it is really, but maybe like, I think gay men are just sometimes nicer or like more interested in women.
Not predatory.
And not predatory. That's my favorite thing when you're dancing with a girl at the club and you whisper in her ear, don't worry, I'm gay. And she's like, thank God. Yeah. No, yeah.
But men don't really approach me.
I know. What is that?
Ever.
What is that?
I don't know. I mean, obviously also I'm with Nick a lot, but I just like don't think the men in Denver like come up to girls.
That's what we've been hearing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a clip about that.
No, I
Apparently,
saw
it's
that.
like a nationwide epidemic where guys are just not.
Men are in their feminine era. And I don't like, because I know you had said, and you're like, let me take that back. You're like, I think girls should hit on guys more. And it's like, I don't want to marry a man. And I will say at 35 now, I'm like dating to marry for sure. I would never marry a man who isn't manly enough to come walk up and say hi to a girl.
Well,
How are you
okay.
going to lead my family?
This is what I said. Can we, I said it, but the tonality was wrong. I was like, can we not? Can we not allow, have women or normalize it? And then it came
Normalize,
off
I think
like,
that-
I think
can
it's
we not
normalized.
have people,
I feel like it's only the girls coming up.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of weird. Just men are just not approaching women at bars where I don't know where they're approaching them. Like, how are men meeting
I think people are on dating apps. a lot,
dating
but
apps
I
and
just
like,
don't do them.
Yeah. I would say so, probably. Probably
for
the
thought.
dating apps.
I think the
Yeah.
dating apps have sort of like ruined the culture. But when I lived in New York City, like men would always come up to me and ask me, and it's like not that hard. Like
Just more
literally the
ask- I
steps
mean,
of it are like, even if you're in a group of girls, look at one girl, be like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And if she says like, if I was like into the guy, either I'd be like, no, I'm good, and turn back to my friends, or like I turn to them and be like, sure. And then they would like chit chat for a bit and they'd be like, hey, I'll let you get back to your friends. Can I take you to dinner this week? Not that hard. So like I was always going on dates in New York City.
Yeah.
It's just Denver is like none.
And
Isaac.
I'm taking notes over here.
Yeah, please approach women about, and like women I have heard, I mean, I can't speak for all women, but the amount of women that I've heard just been like, he came up to me at a bar, like it's such a green flag, you know? And I feel like it wasn't like aggressive or anything like that, but people are like, yeah, he came up to me and said I look pretty or something like that. And it's like, wow, so simple.
Yeah, I feel like I would probably, usually I get a little too drunk when I'm out, and then I start waving, and then I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And then once I get there, I don't have anything to say.
Are you a woo girl?
But I have no problem going up to a gal, but if I'm in a state of inebriation.
Yeah, this guy likes to wave from across the bar.
I honestly think that's great.
Yeah, you know,
and you have a great smile.
Like,
You don't,
what
it's,
are you doing? What are you doing?
the bar is so low. Like you have a pretty smile.
Okay.
That's just wave and smile. Smile and wave, boys.
It's not the best. It's not the best. Okay.
Was that a Finding Nemo?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
I think
Smile.
that's Madagascar. Right?
Madagascar, that's what it is. The penguins. Yeah.
Okay, who is more likely to tie one on at the family function?
What the fuck does that mean?
Tie one on, maybe, is that like
Nick,
a
it means
Midwestern
to
thing?
have a drink, like to get drunk.
yeah.
I blacked out at a baptism last week. At our family.
Not a
hadn't
baptism.
eaten.
Holy shit.
Well,
Okay.
It was an accident.
We hadn't eaten.
No,
but
we-
you really did. And then she drank my mimosa because she was too embarrassed to like get another one for herself. And so I like
Nick turned this head and
I just chugged it. I was like, I didn't drink that. Like
I tried to gaslight you
I know.
into you
And I
having
was
to drink
like,
it.
Don't worry, I'll go
A
pour
little
another
baby
one.
baptism? Or what was it? It was like a
Not an
full-on
adult baptism. It's for a baby.
Yeah,
You didn't like the baby? What was going on?
No, love the baby.
love the baby.
Love
It's just-
everyone involved. It was just.
I mean, is it really just going to be you and I just like cracking the champagne? But I'd say it's both of us, but maybe you're probably the first one. And actually, last, what's it called? A dry January. First dry January I've ever done in my life. Like the first time I didn't drink for like an extended period of time. I only made it to the 19th of January. And it was because we were doing a podcast and we were going to go to Vegas. So I already knew that like I'd be drinking on the 25th. And you were like, you of all people just being like, oh, should we just drink wine on the podcast? And I was like, sure, why not? And because you're a bad influence, you know?
Dangerous.
I am.
Dangerous.
Dangerous, yeah.
More likely to get lost at a rave.
Me.
You for sure. But
Yeah.
lost as in like might end up backstage. We're not sure.
Yeah. It's always, I'm always like lost on purpose. And then I'll find everybody else and be like, guys, like I just met their manager.
Yeah.
We're doing this. It's actually like a skill of mine. I can sneak into anywhere.
That's all. That's a great skill.
Yeah.
We snuck into the ballerina twice.
How did you do that?
It's a secret.
Okay.
We were really, there's
Can't
no
let it
formula.
There is no formula. Every time we do it, it's different.
but-
And you got to get crafty.
There's no door that we can't get in. But I'm going to say you are way better at it. Like I'm really good, but you're just like top tier.
What happens when one of you gets married?
Well, I think we'll live like down the street.
Will
From
you
each other.
still
Nick is
live
like-
together or what? No, just
No.
down the street?
No.
No, but probably like close. I mean, if we're doing the podcast and stuff, be near.
Yeah. I'm not going to do a over Zoom. Like what is that? Zoom.
Bummer, that's a bummer.
No, but we really are like best friends. So like, and we're Italian. So like being that close with your family isn't like weird to us. Like
Yeah.
my best friend lives with her sister and husband right now,
Yeah.
actually.
I mean,
And they're Italian.
I
And
think
it's like,
not really like what I want, but I'm just saying like, yeah.
if I moved into a mansion, you'd probably move in.
Yeah.
On the West Wing.
On the West Wing.
Yeah.
Exactly. My own wing. Nick's sex wing. I'm
Sex
good.
wing? What'd you
I'm
say?
kidding. Like, really.
He's on
Just
the
don't go down the
sex
hallway.
wing. Yeah. More likely to look at themselves in a mirror when they walk by.
Oh my God. Francesca by far.
Okay.
Yeah.
We did have to take 83 photos before this.
Only like 15. I feel
Okay,
like that was like kind of like a low number. I was like trying to like keep my narcissism like locked up.
Yeah.
I was
The
like,
mirrors are always
cool.
looking at me. That's what I think. You know? The mirrors are always looking at me. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one. Is more likely to hook up with an ex.
Oh, me.
Oh, Francesca.
Yeah.
Francesca by far.
There's a lot
They're
of
all
talents.
blocked, like for good. My
Mm-hmm.
dating coach basically told me she was gonna fire me if I didn't. Which like that's bad. And so like I had to make some big changes in life, and they're all like, and I'm not allowed to ever unblock them again in my lifetime. So that's where I'm at,
There
and
you
I'm
go.
sticking to
It's
it.
a healthy
Yeah.
stance. More likely to start an OnlyFans.
Me.
Yeah.
For sure. I have no shame. Okay. Like, I don't see what the problem is. You know, I was given this body for a reason.
Sometimes if we have like a down month with our company, I'm like, Nick, come on, do it for the team.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to the gym to show my body online.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. But like, I mean, like, would that be so bad?
No.
You know?
It's fine.
You'd probably get a lot of subscribers.
Yeah. You know, I don't mind.
I'd take a peek.
Yeah.
Just for research purposes.
You know, I did just subscribe to one of my friends' OnlyFans. I just had to. And then I don't think I can ever tell him. It was only for like 5 days.
Guy or girl?
Guy.
Okay.
Yeah. But, well, I have thought about one of our other girlfriends does. I have just thought, like, as a joke, be like, it's me, like, and have my, like, username be like, Nicodemus Piazza. And then she'd be like, what the fuck?
That's good.
Be like, I just want to take a peek. Like you said, like,
Just take a little look, you know, at the blinds here.
but
She would love it.
she actually would love it.
She'd be like, oh my God, thank you for the support.
Yeah. Here's a tip, mama.
More likely to go through an ex's phone.
Also me.
Okay.
You don't
Yeah.
really care about stuff.
No.
Like you're open or whatever people want to do. I mean, I've for sure done it, but not since like 2015.
I've never done it.
Really?
I don't like being sneaky. Even in movies, when someone's like, you know, they break into someone's house and they're like rummaging through like the drawers, and then they come home, like I start sweating, I start freaking out. I can't even watch a movie doing it, let alone like actually do it. You know, breaking into someone's house, I couldn't do it.
Okay.
I would never break into someone's house.
Never bring in your house.
I'm letting
We're safe.
I'm so serious.
Who's more dramatic? Is it
Oh my god.
more dramatic?
Also, not even a question.
It's not even a question.
It's me.
Yeah. Unparalleled.
Yeah.
The drama.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a dating podcast, and, and that kind of, you know, it interwove there with some dating questions, and it was good. But
Trying to hype yourself up.
yes,
I like it.
Okay,
I like it. That's so good.
Well, we got to get to the dating stuff now. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. You said it's terrible. It's awful compared to every other town you've been in, every other city, every other.
Yeah. I would say, honestly, I think it's like a lot of like Peter Pan syndrome.
Yeah.
Have people said that on your podcast
Every
before?
time.
I'm assuming. Every time? Okay, I've only watched a couple episodes.
This podcast is called Peter Pan.
Yeah, some women have actually enjoyed dating in this town, which is
Really?
Yeah.
I love that for them.
Yeah.
No, I feel like at least my experience have been like men who are like 30 or like 43 and like not looking for anything serious.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, so like when or just, yeah, I feel like they have their dog, they have their boys, and that's just like they're like kind of set in what they have. I don't know, or what they want.
Okay. So if nobody approaches you, if somebody did approach you, what would you like them to say? Hello.
Literally anything. Yeah. I mean, I feel like can I buy you a drink is just like very easy opener. Yeah, I don't think it has to be like complicated. You don't need like a one-liner. I mean, honestly, like your wave, like that's great. Like acknowledging the women that are at the bar.
It doesn't work very often.
Really?
Yeah, that's past the point of no return. You've dated a straight guy?
Oh, yeah.
So many. It's actually his problem.
No. And okay,
How does it work?
I don't like talking about it too much, but like, here's the thing.
But here's the thing. I will.
But I don't like talking about it, but let me grab my mic and go online and talk about it. No, I actually feel like I have had like more relationships with men that aren't
They're
gay.
just closeted gays?
Well, yeah, like a lot of times, like I feel like guys that want to try hooking up with a guy for the first time, like there's something about me that people are like, that's the one. And you know, it's been a motif in my life, and I hate saying that because it's not like I'm trying to turn people or I like have a fetish for straight guys. It's really not like that. It's just like I almost feel like straight guys like me more than gay men. And there was one guy that I actually dated. He like was straight. I was the first guy he was with. And
But he came after you. You were just like,
me.
you're very respectful. You're friends with a lot of straight guys.
Yeah.
You're not like hitting on our guy friends.
No.
And like,
and yeah, and so we like fell in love and started dating. And then he woke up one morning and was like, I'm straight. I can't do this anymore. And I was like, that's crazy. And it was weird though, because we would like go to his house on Sundays and the boys would come over and they would like, I guess me included, like we would watch football and I'm like, wow, like
Did they
straight.
know that
Yeah. And he loved telling people. He was like, oh yeah, like me and Nicodemus are seeing each other and people were like, oh,
they were
that's
like
weird.
boyfriends.
Yeah. And but then there would be like weird dissonant things where he'd be like, you know, like my older brother and his friends, they keep making like gay jokes. And I'm like, well, like you are like seeing repeatedly. An openly gay man, you know, that calls himself the Saucy Sibz. But like, you know what I mean? And he's just like, yeah, I guess you're right. And I'm like, and that's like definitively gay. I don't know. It's not clicking.
Did he
no, he was just like kind of, I don't know. It was like a weird kind of an identity thing for him. And like, I don't really know. And like the first love of my life was like that too. Yeah, recently, like one of my good friends just kind of, but this one is actually like coming out as bisexual and like, but I'm like, oh God, not another one, you know?
Yeah, he's been really like open. Like he told all his guy friends, like the next, like our whole friend group.
Yeah.
And was like, yeah, I've been doing gay shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of adorable actually. But, and so my resolution for 2024 was no more straight men.
2025.
For 2024
Oh, you're right.
it was
You're
no
right.
more straight
You
men.
haven't been doing good at that.
I have not been doing good for it. Not
But
at all.
I think it's also because Nick isn't like super feminine. So I feel like, I don't know
I
if
didn't
it's
think you were gay
because
at first. Like you came off as a straight guy.
Well, I think it just like depends on like how you find me. Like I don't really wrestle with it. It's not like I'm like the most masculine guy ever. But like, was Charlie XCX my most played artist of 2024? Yeah. By far, you know? And so, yeah, I feel like I'm like just feminine enough and just masculine enough to where like I hit this like sweet spot that kind of like does something to people. And it's weird, like straight men approach me at the bar and they're just like, so does your dad know you're gay? And I'm like, I know where this is going. Yeah, my dad knows. What do you want to know about it? You know? And I'm like, here we go. Yeah, here we go. And I'm like, yeah. Or my favorite one is, oh, if I were gay, I would sleep with you. And it's like, so
like your actually straight friends are not saying that to you.
Yeah, no, I know. Like that's not like a straight thing. Like, so you're thinking about having sex with me? You're the only one thinking that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So
okay, okay.
It's been a rough journey, kind of. I don't mind it, but
So some serious relationships though. That's
yeah.
okay. It just didn't work out because the guy was straight. I mean, maybe for you it was. I mean, you know, is it?
Well, when he like woke up one day and like decided he was straight.
That was heartbreaking. That was crazy.
Well, actually, that was like the most like kind of fucked up over a relationship I've ever seen you. That's what I was worried about. But it was kind of like, dude, like you've been doing the gay thing for like 6 months. Like you're not straight. But it's just, I think some people, like, especially if they grew up in really religious families or have families that wouldn't accept it, they just like can't ever see themselves as gay. So they're like, honestly, like they would be the people who get married and then cheat on their wife with men.
100%. And I know those men. You know, like they're
on
everywhere.
Grindr.
They're on Grindr, yeah. And I actually have a friend who I met on Grindr. We've never slept together. He's much older and he like has a wife and kids and he like just sleeps with men all the time. And like he doesn't like no one knows about it. No,
nobody
no.
knows. Okay.
And I've like talked to him about it and it's just like, that's crazy, dude. And he's in his 50s and he's like, you know, the way I grew up and it's just different. Like, you know, I'm not in my 20s.
I feel like a lot of older guys come out sometimes, you know, they have the wife and kids and then they just decide.
Yeah. You know, but like, and I understand that it's hard, but like cheating on someone, that's so much worse. Like, get over yourself. Like, this isn't Saudi Arabia. Like, I understand that it's hard to come out as gay, and I'm not like really trying to like say anything like that. But like, you know, I maybe don't subject your wife to that. Yeah. But yeah. So I don't like to play that game. I don't sleep with like married men unless they're open. Yeah. Yeah. Good. You know?
Not in 2025.
Not in 2025. Off to a bad start. No, I'm kidding.
I never have. That's a no-go.
That is a no-go. Yeah.
No way.
And so for you, you know, maybe a serious relationship, anything you learned or why it didn't work out or what is, I mean, I guess this isn't a therapy session, but if you wanted to give like a couple, you know, spark notes.
I'm trying to think of like why I haven't like had a serious boyfriend since like 2017. I don't know. One was a pro baseball player and I knew he would never love me as much as he loved baseball. Okay. And he just wanted someone who was like a wife and like had kids. And I think that's some girls' dream. Yeah. And that wasn't like my dream. I was like, I always knew I wanted to be on camera, things like that. And it just wasn't going to work out. Also, he was really type A and I'm like super messy. And like I drove him crazy. And after like 1 week together or something, like I went out to visit him. Like I was like, I think secretly hate each other. And he was like, yeah, like it was like a very mutual breakup. But But yeah, I didn't just want to be like barefoot and pregnant. I don't know. I haven't had that many serious ones, which is probably like an issue in itself. But
I don't really think so. You know,
What?
like not like some people like not having like a very serious relationship in a long time. Like I guess it does kind of come off as like a red flag, but not really. It doesn't to me. Yeah.
thanks.
You know.
No, I wasn't saying it was a red flag. Right?
I think some people are like, "What's wrong with you that you like haven't had relationships?"
You were saying you said that's
I think
a problem.
some people think that's like a like okay, like why not?
Oh, that's my favorite question. Why are you single? The fuck?
Yeah. That was my next one.
I just am not
Scratch
gonna.
that out. Scratch that
I'm
out.
just not gonna date people that like I just couldn't see like a future with. I think some people really date for fun. I think I've always dated to marry since I was like early 20s. So like I'm not gonna like waste my time like building a relationship with you if you're not like someone I could see as like the father of my children.
Right.
So
Can you paint a perfect guy for you?
I probably could, but I feel like that's too vulnerable.
Yeah,
I actually know I could because I have an exact
All right,
list.
let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Yeah.
Give us a couple off there. Off the list.
A couple. Should I pull it up? I don't even know where my phone's at.
English accent.
Okay.
But that's not like a need.
Yeah,
but I've
of
always
course,
felt
of
like he
course.
would have an accent.
And I see that.
I think like financial freedom. I want someone who has a job that they're like comfortable with, but they don't like answer to a boss every day. So we can like travel, and do our own thing. Cause I feel like I've built my life that way. I think loyal, trustworthy, fun is like, I think also like Nick and I and my whole family like shares kind of like having the value of like, we just always make sure things are fun. Like nothing we do is boring. Like, I don't know. I think the more fun you have in life, like the better it goes. And
Yeah, I feel like I want to move in with you guys and just be the third Sid.
Yeah, you know, like
that's kind of what people say about the podcast. It just feels like hanging out with us. We're like, yeah, come be in the fam.
we do have a lot of people that and our house is kind of like a hostel. So people are always over.
There's
just
always like 8 people
hanging
in our
out.
house.
Okay. Sounds terrible, but
Like, you know?
No, I'm trying to think. I feel like because I really have it like down to a T, because that's one of the things with like my dating coach is like define exactly who you want. Someone who doesn't take themselves too seriously. So like of course they're like a leader and like have, you know, their values and like what they stand for, but that they stuff rolls off their back. They can be goofy and silly. Have to love nature. I once dated a guy who this is why me and that one guy broke up, John. Is like he would never do anything outside with me. He just wanted to like sit in front of the TV and watch watch sports. And I was like, dude, I gotta like get out and do things. And he was just like really quiet. Oh, social. That's a big one.
Yeah.
You have to be able to like want to go do shit all the time. Like we're extroverted extroverts.
Yeah.
And if you're like an introvert, like it probably isn't gonna work.
yeah, I don't know. I couldn't see either of you with somebody that just sits in front of the TV all day.
Yeah.
No. Didn't you say you really wanted him to take you kayaking?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it
that was
like
the
a
biggest
fight?
thing. No, so that one ex-boyfriend, I was like, it was like summer, and I was like, let's like go kayaking. Like I just really wanted to do it. And there was this big lake by our house, and we did. And the whole time he complained, and he was miserable, and he was like, don't ever make me do something like this again. And I broke up with him the next week. Like we lived together and everything. And I was like, I can't
Yikes.
kayak.
Sounds like you know
The
what
end
you
of
want, though.
I
Yeah,
do. I know
okay.
exactly what I want. So I feel like
That's good.
I feel like once you figure out your values and what you want out of life, it's really easy to like sift through and like say no. Not like not give people a chance, but just if you know what you're looking for, it's easier to find.
1,000%.
Nicodemus, your turn.
Oh man, I kind of want like some fucking weirdo. You know what I mean? Like, just like, oh, he's a ceramic vagina artist from New Mexico. I'm really not too picky, I guess. I just think fun is a really big thing and someone that I can bring along everywhere.
You've said recently they don't have to have had to been to Burning Man. You have to be able to take them.
If I couldn't take my significant other to something like Burning Man and have them like be okay with it, then like it's not going to work out. Or like one time I was seeing this guy in college at the tail end, and we went to Gem and Jam, which is a music festival in Arizona, and it got crazy. It was like the headliner set, and I lost them. Like he was with two of my friends, and it was just too big of a crowd, and we all got separated, and I just kind of like chilled. And it wasn't that I like was actively trying to like ditch them. I just like wasn't going to be able to find them during, you know, the headliner. And he like had a meltdown. And I was like, I don't know what you want me to do. Like go through this 90,000 person crowd and find you. And like, you know, and it just like really upset him. And I was like, you know, like I feel like my guy's going to have to be like independent, you know what I mean? Like don't even come to the music festival if you don't want to, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, someone that I can bring anywhere.
What about complexion wise?
Complexion wise?
We are into different men, thank God. We have different types.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm
for
tall,
sure.
blonde, hairless, like Scandinavian looking.
Yeah.
And
I can't be sexually attracted to you if you don't have a beard. Like it's just literally number one. And height doesn't bother me at all because
I don't think I've dated anyone with a beard.
which is crazy. You know.
That was one of my questions. If somebody liked both of you, how would who would they choose and why? Yeah.
Wait, what?
Like if somebody was bi and liked both of you.
Oh,
but they
it
didn't know
happens
you were-
all
oh,
the
it does?
time.
Okay.
It's like people's fetishes.
It's the weirdest fucking
Yeah.
thing. And her and I are not into that.
Nope.
You know, it's
No
like
thanks.
if you choose one or the other, that's it. And people have like made weird comments about it or like
Or they'll secretly be flirting with me and him, and we won't know. And then the next day we'll debrief. And like, actually, one time we brought someone home, and I think we each thought we were bringing that person home, and then we like found out that they
Yeah.
were like
Yeah.
hitting on both of us, and I was like, "Fuck that!" Like
Yeah.
that's so weird.
It's definitely happened a few times and it's just like, mm-mm. And if someone was with them first, then that person's off limits. Like, have you ever been with my sister? Like, that's just not happening.
You
Yeah.
weren't with the nympho guy?
No.
But
no,
you
no.
would.
Would have
Yeah, would have.
before, prior. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But no, luckily we don't have the same types at all.
Yeah. That's
So
good.
lucky.
Could you imagine?
We ask everybody here about like a dating horror story, maybe even a really good date, but the horror stories usually go better.
I
Man.
mean, where to begin?
Where to begin?
We probably just start with the podcast that like I wouldn't let my mother listen to.
Yeah.
Long story short, I met this guy at a bar in Breckenridge, and he invited me on a date the next day at Vail. It was New Year's Eve though. And so we go on the date, and it's a snowstorm in Vail. And so I'm ending up having to spend the night with him in his place with like his friends and go out on New Year's Eve with him. So typically on a first date, I would never stay the night because that's already like putting something weird out there. But he was like hardcore, like trying to hook up. And I was like, we just met. And actually it was like a bad date, but I'm like stuck with this person. And so basically I was just like, no, like cause we were like making out, and I was like, I'm just not gonna do this. And he was like, all right, well, do you mind if I like, what did he say?
I don't even know how.
I forget. It happened so fast.
Okay.
But it was just like, I'm already kind of saying no. And I was like, sorry, like, I'm not going to hook up with you. Like, I just met you. And he was like, well, do you care if I like masturbate onto your feet?
Oh, you Louis C.K'd you.
Is that like a thing?
Well, yeah.
I don't know
that's
what Louis
C.K.
CK
like masturbated in front of a woman that
Okay.
in his hotel room, but like masturbate to her feet.
So
that was
I go,
Damn, we
I
have
was
to talk about feet on every fucking podcast.
Oh,
Do you guys
is that a
really?
thing?
There's a last couple
much.
like
It's a
people.
little bit of a
Yeah,
thing.
for some reason. the
I mean,
feet
not to
always
kink
come up.
shame,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like the first time you're meeting someone. And so I'm already like, I kind of feel like whatever, like he like took me skiing and like all this
Yeah.
stuff. And so I'm just like when you're already like saying no, like blue balls is not a real thing. And I like don't care about that. But I still kind of felt like I feel like there was a compromise there. And I was like, okay. He like flips me over. So like Nick said, face down, soles up. And no, him, like honestly, like him, my feet like needed their own room. He started like talking to them. Like he was like, when I saw you take those snowboard boots off earlier, and like I am like breaking the fourth wall, like you know, in The Office, my face is like in the pillow, and I'm like, oh my, like I wish someone was. I was like,
Yeah.
but I didn't know what to. I just like. I'm just like frozen. And so he is just like dirty talking my feet, masturbates on my feet. And then he's like the name of this episode is called Sticky Feet.
I don't know how to react right now.
No. And I literally, and then he
uncomfortable.
goes, oh, you should probably go wash that off.
which that's just.
I basically tiptoed to the bathtub.
I was like, would you like barrel walk over?
Yeah. Just did a handstand, feet up in the air. No, like rinsed them off and like got back in bed and just like laid like back to back and was like, we slept back to back and like never spoke again, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd say that was the worst. For sure.
Yeah.
That might be our winner here.
Yeah.
14 episodes.
I don't know if we can top that.
Fuck yeah.
We had a girl.
I love to win. Thanks,
I love to win.
We had a girl get hit by a car on a first date, but that almost might be there.
Yeah, I think I'd rather get hit by a car than get my
I
feet
think I
juiced
would
on.
too. No, honestly, like I didn't do much. Wasn't that bad. Gave me a really good story.
So wait, didn't you say
I wouldn't do
that
it again.
He was like, when I saw you take off those snowboard boots,
Yeah.
like,
I said that,
really?
no, but there was like, it was like extensive dirty talk to the feet. And I was just like there the whole time, like alone, like this is not happening to me right now.
Isaac's fully erect right now.
Yeah.
Are you into feet?
Yeah.
No.
He's a little bit.
Not yet.
Not yet.
After that story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really am just like, I'm thankful in my life that I don't have a foot fetish. I just feel like
Same.
it'd be hard to like break it to someone, be like, oh,
Yeah,
nice
if I-
toes. And it is common.
If I had like a boyfriend and like he was into it, I'd be like, sure, we can work it in. Like I'm not like so vanilla. But first time,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So what are your guys' fetishes? No, I'm just kidding.
You guys have any kinks?
Top that. This is your guys' episode. Now,
like-
you need to stay out of it.
This isn't like, it's not going to top that, but like this was like crazy. So again, I was up in Breckenridge. And,
Wait, are you going to tell that story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
And I like met this nice gentleman.
Speaking of kinks.
Speaking of kinks, he was older, and I don't mind that at all. And we like go to his RV because he was living in, like, he lived in Fort Collins, but he had an RV. And I get an Uber over to his RV, and we hooked up. It was actually like amazing. It was like a lot of fun. And he was like, oh, and then at the end of it, I was like, oh, well, I have to go to the bathroom. Like, do you have a toilet in this, like, you know, RV? Like, where is it? Because, you know, like, it was like closed. You know how they like expand and stuff? I couldn't figure out where it was. He was like, oh, it's over there. And he was like, do you have to pee? And I was like, yeah, I do. He was like, okay, cool. And I was like, okay. And then he said, can I watch? And I was like, you know, like, we just hooked up. Like, it'd be weird. I'm like, no, I'm pee shy. Like, no. So I was like, sure. And like, I'm like about to go pee. And then he like bends down to the toilet bowl and was like looking up. And I was like, what? And then he was like, and then looks, and he was like, it happened so fast again. It's like,
Again, you don't know what to say.
Yeah, and he was just like,
It's getting on him. It has to be getting on.
I'm about to start peeing. Okay, so it's like, again, fast. And then he goes, can I drink it? And I just said to myself, like, and I like pissed down his throat like it was a urinal. And
I don't know what to do.
And I literally was like, what? And it was like a long piss, like beer piss after sex, like full on. And he just like guzzled it down. Like, honestly, with skill, I don't even know if I could have done that. Like, it was just like a lot of liquid.
It wasn't his first time he did that.
Definitely not his first time. And and then he said to me, and this was actually kind of like wholesome, I guess, or a compliment. He was like, thanks for letting me do that. And I was like, you know what, man? You're welcome. And at this point, I'm just like, oh my literal fucking God, like, calling Uber now. And he's just like, yeah. He was like, you just seem like the type of person that would be cool with that, you know? And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Like 20 beers a day piss. you know,
Yeah.
Just
And
You
like-
seem like the type of person that would piss down my throat.
Exactly. That's me. And so then I called my Uber, and it was the same Uber driver.
That's the best part of this story.
And he just goes, how was it? And because he like totally knew, because it was like probably like an hour and a half. And I just wanted to be like, well, I pissed down his throat. But like, I don't, like, that would be too much, you know? I don't want to be too much.
That would be too much.
you know?
Let me just put it on
Yeah.
the internet.
And so I feel like that was probably my weirdest, like, it wasn't a date, I guess, but my weird, where, and I don't, even hate it. I just like think about it the other day. And I was kind of drunk. And so I woke up the next day and I completely forgot about it. And then I went to go pee in the morning and I'm like halfway through my piss, just like Vietnam flashback. Like, oh, wow, that happened.
PTSD,
the whole piss. Like, same Uber driver. I was like, man, that's poetic, I guess.
So he's just like mouthfuls.
Mouthfuls.
Drinking, gulping. Okay, I'm not trying to
Need
get
too much more of a visual.
But sorry, I was like
he was
thinking about the dynamics of it. Like,
No, I
it
know.
grossed me out, and then my mind went to like, okay, what is?
Yeah, like the logistics are weird.
Yeah, okay,
He was
okay.
skilled for sure.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, I feel like he was one of those guys, if you like threw a grape across the room, he'd be able to catch it with his mouth immediately, you know?
Yeah, get
Never
that
miss a
man
grape.
some sake.
He doesn't lose a drop.
The chef's like, damn, you're really good at this.
He just gives out a second bottle.
And he's like, if they only knew. If this hibachi chef even knew.
Oh god. Oh man.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, I don't even know if we could top that. I think we've
That's
had,
our 2 best stories ever.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
Thank God.
I want to say thank you guys so much for coming on. I think we've held you for a while. I mean,
Everything is romantic.
we can't do better than that. Usually we end with one more question, so it's going to be 2 for one for each of you. Why are you guys a catch?
Ooh.
That's so cute. What a cute little question. Yeah. So like brag on yourself, like why you think you're a catch? That's a hard thing for people. Not that I like don't have it, but I feel like bragging on ourselves is so like I mean, it's definitely not unnatural for me to
Sorry,
talk
I just
about
can't
myself.
stop thinking about the piss. That's why I smiled. I wasn't laughing at you. I was like thinking about the piss.
I'm a catch because I piss really well.
Yeah, catch. Well, I can catch all the
You can have a
things.
wide stream,
Yeah. Focused, you know?
But I feel like it's so unnatural to like brag about yourself like that.
No, it is
Yeah,
kind
you
of
go
Brag
first.
away,
Okay.
brag away.
Seize the opportunity.
I think I'm a lot of fun, always fun. And even in bad situations, like I've been in some really crazy situations where I'm like, this is bad, dangerous, but I feel like I'm going to have a good time. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think I'm, entertaining and fun and adventurous. And you never know what the adventure's gonna be, and some people might not like that, but yeah, I'd say that.
Now I want to steal all of those. I'm like, I'm fun too.
I'm fun too. Ditto.
No, but I think that I feel like people have always told me I'm like always smiling and like very positive. That I.
Yeah, no.
Sorry,
This is good. This is
so you're
good.
like, are you?
No.
And I think I really care about other people. Like, I think one thing is that like, I'm never going to do something I don't want to do or like hang out with someone I don't want to hang out with. So like, if I like fuck with you, like I really fuck with you. Like I really have people's backs. I'm so loyal.
Ride or die for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to a fault. And, yeah, I think also, but I will like steal the fun thing. I think that's just because we have the same parents, like that, like you'll never be bored because like we're gonna get into some antics and yeah.
Those are good answers.
Beautiful, yeah.
Those are good
Antics.
answers. I say that for everybody except for Joey's, but that was one of our other podcasts. And I'm going to start using
I say that for
now.
everyone's cool. I felt really good at first that he was like,
It
oh,
was
really
good.
good answers. Then he was like, well, I say that for everyone. And I was like, well, I was excited.
They were great answers.
Thanks.
Why was Joey's bad? Like, who is this Joey?
He's drunk. He was hammered. We were hammered on that podcast, and it just, he goes,
I don't think he said one serious thing on that podcast.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah. It was
And
a
then-
fun episode.
Just drunk and lying
Where
the whole
can we
time.
watch the pod at? Saucy Sibz.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Any platform that exists, we're on it.
And then follow you on Instagram. We'll put up all
Yeah.
your
So
stuff,
everything is
TikTok.
saucy, like the word SAUCY, and then Sibz with a Z, SIBZ.
Right.
And then our personals are like in our bios there. If anyone wants to do us after these stories.
I'm sure. I mean, I don't know if we have a lot of people reach out, but some people will be like, oh, I got some new followers. Some people reached out to me. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Cute.
Oh, I love that.
So
That's actually amazing.
and you know what? It would be good. I would like to like tailor popular, like maybe somebody gets a match from it, and that's great.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just like spotlighting people. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
No, I love this.
Very
This is so
cool.
fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Wish you
absolutely,
guys
It was like
happiness and
amazing to
health.
come in.
Yeah. That was a lot of fun, and that was, by far the best stories I've ever heard.
Oh,
So,
thank God.
Yeah, these are so fun.
any
Love
time
it.
in my life, that's by far the best. So thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll see
Cheers.
Cheers,
Yeah,
everyone.
thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Bye-bye.